Shalom, family. Thank you once again for visiting the channel. Family, today we're going to talk about the end of the days and tribulation and how it compares to the days of Noah. The same thing going on now as it was in the days of Noah. And we're also going to dispel some of these false teachings that we learned when we was in the Christian church, about this rapture stuff and pre-trib and a lot of foolishness. And it come from people watching too many of those Left Behind movies, where the people that were left were the ones who didn't believe, okay? And the ones that was taken up were believers. And it's just the opposite, family. It's just the opposite, and we'll be able to prove it with scripture, because we're going to be using KJV and the Apocrypha, Second Ezra, and it'll bear all these things out, and we'll find out that it's just opposite of what those movies show. So let's get started. Let's start with Matthew chapter 24, verse 3. And he sat upon the Mount of Olives. The disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? Let's go down to verse 38 and 39. This is what Mashiach said. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came, and took them all away. Family, keep that word took in mind, because we're going to see it again as a reference to what happened to the people who was took, contrary to what the movies say. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. All right. People got all kind of ideas of what these scriptures mean when you're in a Christian church. Let's look at, before we go into the Apocrypha, let's look at Matthew chapter 24, verse 40 and 41. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. Remember that word, taken and took, okay? Two women shall be grinding at the mill. The one shall be taken, and the other left. Just same as it was in the days of Noah. The ones that were took were the ones that were killed. But who was left? Noah and his family, right? He was left behind. Okay? And people make all kind of things out of this. When they say the women was grinding, they tried to make something sexual out of that. In fact, let's look at it from Luke's uh, version of it. Luke chapter 17, verse 34 through 36. I tell you, in that night there shall be two men in one bed. The one shall be taken, and the other left. Again, family, people try to make this out of some sexual. Oh, it was two men in a bed. No, this is just an analogy, fam. That's all it is. Okay, it's not actual. Verse 35. Two women shall be grinding together. The one shall be taken, and the other left. See, they made all those women was committing a homosexual act. No, it's an analogy. Verse 36 says, two men shall be in the field, one shall be taken, and the other left. See, now if you watch too many of those Left Behind movies, it'll confuse you because it's just opposite to what you saw. So let's go to the Apocrypha in Second Ezra, and you'll see that there's Second Ezra and the verses in Matthew 24, they all just agree with each other. Okay? So this is a dream that Ezra was having, no doubt from one of the messengers or the Most High himself. So let's start at verse 15 and we'll go down to 23. Show me now yet the interpretation of this dream. For as I conceive in my understanding, woe unto them that shall be left in those days, and much more woe unto them that are not left behind. I'm sorry. Now it's telling you right there, yeah, it's going to be rough for people that's still here during the tribulation. But he says much more woe to them that's not left. Okay? Verse 17 says, for they that were not left were in heaviness, meaning they were in sin. Okay? Those that were not left, the ones that got taken or took, all right, they were in heaviness. Verse 18 says, now I understand the things that are laid up in the latter days, which shall happen unto them and to those that are left behind. Some of us are probably will be here during the tribulation. That's why I call some people tribulation saints. You know, they went through it and kept their belief and obedience to the Most High. Verse 19, therefore they are come into great peril and many necessities, as the dreams declare. You know, it's going to be rough. Now, no doubt the Most High will shelter his faithful during that time, but you're going to see it nonetheless, whether you want to or not to. Verse 20. Yet it is easier for him that is in danger to come into these things than to pass away as a cloud out of the world, and not to see the things that happen in the last days. And he answered unto me and said, the interpretation of the vision shall I show thee, and I will open up unto thee the thing that thou hast required. So in verse 20 it's saying, it's easier for the people that's left to go through this stuff than those who were taken out of here. Okay? Verse 22. Thereas thou hast spoken of them that are left behind. This is the interpretation. He that shall endure the peril in that time has kept himself, that they be fallen into danger, are such as have works and faith toward the Most High. And we can match that up in the scriptures. In Matthew 24:13 it says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. See? Ain't nobody getting raptured out of here. Go down to verse 24. Know this therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead. He said those people that got left behind, they're more blessed than the ones that got killed or took. Verse 25. This is the meaning of the vision. Whereas thou sawest a man coming up from the midst of the sea. Verse 26 says, the same is he whom the Most High, the highest, has kept a great season, which by his own self shall deliver his creature, and he shall order them that are left behind. See, let's look at what it says in Revelation chapter 7, verse 13 through 14. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, what are these that are arrayed in white robes? And whence did they come from? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, these are they that came out of the great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. It's just same thing we just read in Matthew. In Second Ezra. Okay. Another verse it's in there, as you know, it's Matthew, I guess it's 29 and 31. It all matches up, family. You just can't get away from it. Let's see, where is that verse? Yeah, let's go ahead and read Matthew 29. No, Matthew 24, verse 29 through 31. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, for they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Verse 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from one elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. We just got done reading that in Second Ezra 13 and 23? No, I'm sorry. That would be 13 and 26, which matches up to what we just read in Revelations. Okay. Let's go on over to Second Ezra, the 16th chapter, and we'll go from 22 through 28. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Well, let's see. Can we have any reference of that in Matthew? Let's see. Yeah, let's go to Matthew 24, verse 6 and 7. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you're not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, the kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. So it's describing those events in Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 22. You know, about the famine and everything else. Verse 23. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. Now, where can we find reference to that? Let's go to Psalms 91, and we'll go from verse 5 to 11. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flies by day, nor for the pestilence that walk in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. See, I told you it's going to The people that's left here, they're going to get to see it. Verse 9, because thou hast made the Most High, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. Verse 10, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. See, it's telling you about those things in verse 24 of Second Ezra's chapter 16, where it's saying verse 24, there shall be no man left to till the earth or to sow it. So Psalms 91 is confirming it. Okay? Let's see, where we leave off. Verse 24. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. Verse 25. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. Psalms 91. So that one man shall desire to see another, and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in thick groves, and in the clefts of the rocks. Well, where else have we heard that, family, about people hiding? Let's see. Let's go to Revelation 6, verse 16. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sits on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. See, it's pretty much saying the same things, describing the same scenario, in Ezra's. Let's see. Yeah. Let's go in. Let's go to Revelation, and we'll just prove it. It's still going to be people on this earth. Like Paul said, we all are not going to sleep, but we all going to be changed. So it's going to be people here during the tribulation, okay? And it'll be those, hopefully those who are still, as the scriptures say, kept themselves. You didn't fall into sin. You didn't start doubting the Most High. You still was faithful. But there's going to be people here, family. It is no rapture. Marshak told you when he was going to gather up the people. And, he said immediately after the tribulation. Let's go to Revelation chapter 6, verse 9 and 10. And when he had opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Yah, and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long? Elohim, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth. See, these are some of the people who came through the tribulation. And they were just asking the Most High, how long is it going to be before you judge those people, Revelation 16:2. And it's talking about the angels. It says, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. So we see it's going to be people who on the earth who took the mark, and it's going to be those on the earth that didn't. See, all this is occurring on the earth, not in heaven. Revelations 13, verse 15 through 18. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So that's letting you know it's going to be people on earth that won't worship the beast, and they're probably going to maybe be persecuted. Okay? All right. It's nothing new under the sun. Doing all those inquisitions, the Roman, Spain Inquisition, that's what they were doing. People who would not serve their God the way they served him, they would kill you. Verse 16, and he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell except that he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So, we can already see a lot of this playing out, man, because they trying to establish the one world government and religion. Okay. All of that stuff is tied in together, the finance and everything else, where you pretty much are forced into participate. So this is why in these days here, we got to depend on the Most High and stay with it. Don't give up hope or faith at no cost. Let's look at Revelation 19 and 20. We're going to see that word took or taken again, because that's what's going to happen to the beast. Revelation 19:20. And the beast was what? Taken. All right. Does that mean the beast was taken up into heaven because he was obedient? No, he's going to be killed or destroyed. And with him, the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that had worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone. See, that word taken and took, that's not a good thing, family. Let's give another example. Revelation 24. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Mashiach, and for the word of Yahuwah, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their forehead or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years. See, it's not going to be no rapture, folks. It's just not. Those Christian movies about Left Behind and all that stuff, it really did people a disservice, making them think that's the way it's going to happen. It's just the opposite. If you got took or taken, that wasn't good. As we seen in Second Ezra, we living in the same kind of conditions, family, today. Just like let's go to Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. Same thing. And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. See? Same way today. Nobody thinking about, a lot of people not thinking about the Most High. I know we all experience when you try to witness to family, friends, or some people, they don't want to hear it. Okay? And it's also saying that in Ecclesiastes. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. And it says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. See, just because people do what they want to do and it seems like the Most High is not going to do anything about it, then they have no fear. They think it's not going to happen. So therefore, they just keep doing evil. Now, if the Most High was to punish you as soon as you commit the offense, people would stop sinning. I guarantee you. But they're not seeing nothing happen to them. They live for another 20 years living the kind of way they want to, because they don't have a fear of punishment immediately. But it's coming. Second Peter, chapter 3, verse 3 through 7. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is this promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. See, these people saying, yeah, well, y'all been saying Mashiach's coming way back, since our fathers fell asleep. So they in doubt. They think it's a bunch of fairy tales. So they scoffing. Yeah, well, y'all say he coming, but man, I've been around here 50 years and I ain't seen nothing. Keep living. Verse 5. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of Yah the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. Verse 7 says, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. Won't be in the water. It's going to be by fire. Total destruction. Same way. They didn't pay. The Most High has always been fair. Why? Because he warns people before he does anything. That's why he had prophets and servants to speak to the people. He always warned them first. He had Noah for 120 years while he was trying to build a boat, was trying to teach people and warn them. So he always give a warning through his prophets before he does anything. He give you a chance. In fact, go to Amos chapter 3, verse 7. Surely the Most High Elohim will do nothing, but he reveals his secret unto his servants, the prophets. See? Just look all through the scriptures. He always warned you. Moses, warned people. Just look at him. Every prophet in there came with a warning. And people just ignore it. In fact, they was killing the prophets. And all the disciples was martyred, except for John. And he got sent into exile. Revelation chapter 10 and 7 says it again, about the prophets. It say, but in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of Elohim should be finished, as he has declared to his servants, the prophets. See? It's always a warning. So whose fault is it if you don't heed the warning? You can't call the Most High unjust because he warns you first. He don't want to have to do it. That's why he warns you. If he was just bent on killing people, he wouldn't warn you. He just do it. You sin, he take you out. But he warns people first. Through the prophets, through his laws. How much more warning do you need? What do Ecclesiastes 1 verse 7, 7, that's Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9 through 10. The thing that has been is that which shall be. Okay? And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It has been already of old time, which was before us. See, nothing new. The Most High has to always warn the people, and he brings on destruction when people didn't heed the warning. It's like the people in the days of Noah. So don't be looking for no people getting raptured up, and like in the movies, you see their clothes and stuff fall all on the ground, and airplanes crashing because the pilot got beamed up, and cars and all this stuff. Come on, family. Yeah, that's Hollywood. That's not how it's described, okay, in the scriptures, especially in Second Ezra. You've seen that for yourself. It's going to be people still here. Short of the Most High coming or call you in, you may have to go through it. He's going to make a way for you to escape it, but you have to go through it. You'll get to see it for sure. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 51 and 52 says, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. When? At the last trump. Not no pre-trib, none of that. Marshak told you immediately after the tribulation. At the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Don't sound like no pre-tribulation to us that know. All this was brought about from Adam and Eve. See, the people in Noah's day, after Adam and Eve did what they did and took part of the true, is it the tree of good and evil, then everybody after Adam knew the difference between good and evil. So that's why the Most High destroyed them. See, the Most High did not intend for Adam and Eve to know the difference. Now, they knew what it meant to obey, because he told them not to partake, of that tree. But they didn't know in the sense of what evil was unless they were able to experience evil. See? And that's what he didn't want them to do. So anybody after the descendants coming from Adam and onward, man, they all knew. Even though the law wasn't present then, that was given to us, through Moses, still it was sin. And the Most High has always and will always judge sin. So they knew they were sinning and didn't care. Okay? They done everything that people do now. They had false worshiping of idols and their gods and the same thing. Drinking, partying, everything. And the thing about it, we can't claim that we don't know the difference between good and evil, because we do. Anybody from past Adam know the difference. Cain knew good and evil. Okay? If he didn't, after he killed his brother, why did he say to the Most High, well, people gonna try to find me and kill me? Why? Because he knew he had done evil. He knew what he did. So we don't have an excuse. We got the laws written. All you have to do is pick them up and study them. We don't have an excuse. We know what the Most High's laws are. Marshak said himself, if you love me, keep my commandments. So we know what the law is. We know what good and evil is. So we don't have an excuse. If you're evil, you just doing that on your own. You're just a person who's bent on doing evil. Okay? So I hope that y'all studied those 2 chapters in Second Ezra and read them yourself. And trust me, when you read them yourself, it make a whole lot more sense to you. All right? Instead of just hearing me say it, when you read it, then you got your whole mind and intention focused on the words. Okay? And you'll get the understanding of those words. So that's why I always encourage everybody to read. It's okay if you listen, but when you hear the scriptures, go check them out for yourself. You can do it the same way as anybody else can. Just check it out. Make sure I'm not lying. Okay? You know, this is not a Christian church where everybody got a Bible, but the only one person Bible is open is the pastor, so he can tell you anything is in there. You don't know because you won't open yours. You just got it for decoration. You know, people spend a couple of $100 on some of these Bibles and never even open them. They just depend on what the pastor is saying. It's true and it's written. And sometimes it's not. He's ad-libbing or adding to or taking away. So you can't trust that. Always look and see if it's so. Okay? Okay, family. I'm going to get out of here and rest my voice. It's a little scratchy and stuff. But I hope you can see that the scriptures say just the opposite of what the Hollywood movies say. Okay? Those that got left behind were more blessed than the ones that were taken. It's just opposite, okay? All right, family. I'm going to get out of here. Shalom.